place in the second round is at stake when Cardiff play Exeter in University Challenge, tonight at 8 on BBC Two.
In the spotlight tonight is William Barrett from London, an IT developer, and his specialist subject is the Royal Family television series. Christopher Tanner from Cheadle Hulme, a retired local government officer, and his subject, the composer Dmitri Chomkin. Ian MacDonald from Caerphilly, a transport manager, his subject, the Swan novels of R.F. Delderfield. And Bernard Critchley from Yeovil, a chartered tax advisor, and his subject, Richard Nixon. Welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. 4 more contenders put themselves to the test tonight in the hope that they might just end up being crowned the nation's mastermind. But first, they have to face the ordeal of the clock. 2 minutes on their chosen subject and 2 minutes on general knowledge, and that's that. So, may we have our first contender, please? And your name is?
William Barrett.
Your occupation?
IT developer.
And your specialist subject?
The Royal Family television series.
The Royal Family in 2 minutes, starting now. What is the name of Jim's friend who sells him a pair of jeans in the very first episode, which he wears in almost every show afterwards?
Twiggy.
Yes. From which operation is Barbara's mother recovering when she first moves in with the family for a week?
Cataract.
Yes. Where do Denise and Dave go for their honeymoon, taking full advantage of the free drink offered on the flight?
Tenerife.
Yes. Why does Dave suggest that his friend Gary, who's recently lost his mum, should be the godfather of his firstborn child?
Dave owes him £200.
He does. Which poet and comedian co-wrote the first series of The Royal Family with Caroline Aherne and Craig Cash, but was replaced for the second series by Carmel Morgan?
Henry Normal.
Correct. In The Queen of Sheba, Anthony drops in to see the family on his way to a business conference in which town?
Milton Keynes.
Yes. At Anthony's 18th birthday party, what kind of meat does Nana suggest would be suitable for Emma to eat because she's a vegetarian?
Wafer thin ham.
Yes. According to Barbara, how did Dave attempt to break the ice with the rest of the family when he first started dating Denise?
He took an old armchair to the tip.
He did. In episode 3 of series 1, which television programme does the family watch and place 20p bets on the outcome?
The Antiques Roadshow.
Yes. What's the name of the boy from the flats to whom Denise was once engaged?
Stuart.
Yes. Nana's eye specialist shares his name with which celebrity, a coincidence that causes her some amusement?
Michael Crawford.
Correct. What was Darren caught stealing from the warehouse, causing him to lose his job?
Fridge freezer.
Yes. What's the title of the song that Jim and Twiggy danced to while decorating the living room before the baby's christening?
Mambo number 5.
Yes. In The Queen of Sheba, Barbara tells Mary Carroll that Nana's last words were what?
Trevor MacDonald.
They were. Which toy does Dave laboriously construct for baby David from odd scraps of material?
A farmyard.
Yes. In the series 3 Christmas special, Jim tells Emma's father that he'd been doing what job when he was fired for falling asleep?
Security guard.
Correct. Which of Nana's friends dies in series 3, which gives Nana the chance to help herself to some of her things,
Elsie.
while Barbara lays claim to her non-stick pans?
Elsie.
Yes. What's the name of Nana's surviving budgie that she wants to leave with Barbara while she goes on a trip to Blackpool?
Robson.
Correct. Anthony sets out to manage which rock band who are described as a cross between Oasis and the Manics?
Exit.
Yes. Which middle names do Denise and Dave give to their first child?
Keanu Ronan.
Correct. No passes. No wonder somebody gasped there. 20 points. Well, what a start. Our next contender, please. And your name is?
Christopher Tanner.
Your occupation?
Retired local government officer.
And your specialist subject?
The life and film music of Dmitri Tiomkin.
Dmitri Tiomkin in 2 minutes, starting now. Which composer was the director of the St. Petersburg Conservatory where the young Dmitri Tiomkin studied piano?
Alexander Glazinov.
Correct. In the mid-1920s, which Broadway theatrical producer offered Tiomkin a vaudeville tour in the United States after hearing him perform as part of a piano duo in Paris?
Boris Guest.
Yes. Tiomkin's big breakthrough in film music came when he scored which 1937 Frank Capra movie?
Lost Horizon.
Correct. Jomkin frequented which St. Petersburg basement cafe that was a gathering place for artists before the Russian Revolution?
The Stray Dog.
Yes. What was the first of the 4 Alfred Hitchcock movies that he scored?
Shadow of a Doubt.
Correct. Who was Jomkin visiting in prison in pre-revolutionary St. Petersburg when he was accidentally locked up for several days?
Can't remember.
For which 1941 Frank Capra film did Jomkin conduct his own score, the first time he'd done so for a major studio?
Meet John Doe.
Yes. What was the name of Tsar Alexander II's daughter who employed Jomkin as an accompanist at her summer estate?
Princess Bariatinsky.
Correct. Who wrote the lyrics for the Academy Award-winning song Do Not Forsake Me, Oh My Darling, for which Jomkin provided the music?
Ned Washington.
Yes. What's the title of the trumpet tune that Jomkin wrote for the 1959 film Rio Grande and later adapted for the Alamo?
De Gallo.
Yes. His love theme for which film became better known as There's Never Been Anyone Else But You?
No, gone.
The singer from New Orleans to whom Jomkin gave piano lessons in St. Petersburg was known by what name?
Ruby.
Miss Ruby, yes. Which word is used as a greeting in Greek? It is also the title of the melody that can be heard at intervals throughout the score of the Guns of Navarone.
Yasu.
Yes. Jomkin was nominated for an Academy Award for which song from the 1963 film 55 Days at Peking?
So Little Time.
Correct. Which noted American baritone sang Jomkin's compositions in the 1957 Cinerama travelogue Search for Paradise?
Lowell Thomas.
Robert Merrill. Which symphony orchestra played Jomkin's score for the 1959 animated documentary film Rhapsody of Steel, which was produced for the US Steel Company?
Pittsburgh.
Correct. Whom did he marry in London in 1972, 5 years after the death? I'll finish the question of his first wife, Albertina.
Olivia Patch.
Olivia Patch is correct. You had 2 passes. Giant was the film. There's Never Been Anyone Else But You. And General Skiersky was the man Jomkin was visiting in prison when he accidentally got locked up. There's a story behind that, I've no doubt. 2 passes. Christopher Tanner, 14 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Ian MacDonald.
Your occupation?
Transport manager.
And your chosen subject?
The Swan novels of R.F. Delderfield.
R.F. Delderfield's Swan novels in 2 minutes, starting now. In 1858, Adam Swan raises the capital to start his business by selling which type of gemstones which had been in a necklace?
Rubies.
Correct. Giles and Romaine Swan named their son after which politician who sponsors Giles as a Liberal candidate?
David Lloyd George.
Correct. The Shannon pump is bound for which colliery when the pit manager, Dowlas, commandeers it to help rescue the trapped miners?
Blenhaven.
Steepcoat. Which of Adam's children sets up home at Cortlands and later at Dupont's?
Stella Fawcett.
Yes. What breed is Romain's pet dog, Prue, which is found by her estranged husband, Giles, on the Esplanade in Blackpool and helps reunite the couple?
A Labrador.
Yes. Helen and Joanna Swan are using which mode of transport when they're involved in an accident, subsequently meet their future husbands, Rowley and Clint Coles?
Bicycles.
Yes. What's the name of the house that Sam Rawlinson has had renovated? It is known to the locals as Scabs Castle.
Stannard Lodge.
Yes. Which gun is demonstrated by Alex Swan to the Prince of Wales is later adopted by the Army?
Maxim.
Yes. What's the name of the depot superintendent of the Great Western Terminus who suggests to Adam Swan that he should go into haulage?
Evan Walker.
Yes. In which Canadian town did Barbara Lockerbie spend her childhood after leaving Ireland during the potato famine?
Moose Bend.
Montreal. What long-term disability does Hugo Swan sustain as a result of being shot during an ambush in the Boer War?
He's blinded.
Yes. From which coach builder whose yard is off Gallywall Road does Adam Swan order 1- and 2-horse vehicles at the start of his enterprise?
Blunderstones.
Correct. What's the occupation of Luke Dobbs, whose death at Tryst affects the relationship between Adam and Henrietta?
Chimney Sweep's apprentice.
Yes. What is the name of the senior ward sister whose present at Romain's death and who had been unknowingly instrumental in Romain's decision to become a militant some years before?
Gwyneth Powell.
Correct. What kind of animal is Dante, which is captured by Hamlet Ratcliffe after it escaped from the Two Rivers Carrier Service?
A lion.
Yes. Giles becomes the Member of Parliament for which Welsh constituency in Usk Vale?
Pontnewydd.
Yes. What name does Adam give to the region in the Swan network that includes the whole of Lancashire and is at one time managed by Broadbent?
Polygon.
Yes. According to an inscription on its plinth, Hamlet Ratcliffe died while helping erect an 8-foot-high bronze statue of whom in June 1887?
Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria it was. No passes. Ian MacDonald, 16 points. And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Bernard Critchley,
Your occupation?
Chartered Tax Advisor.
And your chosen subject?
Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon, in 2 minutes, starting now. Nixon served as the vice president to whom between 53 and 61?
Dwight Eisenhower.
Correct. Nixon first met his wife Pat when they were auditioning for roles in a Whittier Community Players production of which play?
Pass.
Which former foreign policy advisor to Franklin D. Roosevelt was investigated by Nixon in 1948 on suspicion of being a communist spy?
Alger Hiss.
Yes, in his landslide victory over George McGovern in the 72 presidential election, Nixon won all but 2 states. One was the District of Columbia. What was the other?
Massachusetts.
Yes, which political opponent was described by Nixon as being pink down to her underwear and is credited with popularising the nickname Tricky Dick?
Helen Gahagan Douglas.
Correct. Which Chief Justice of the US District Court presided over the trial of the Watergate burglars and ordered the release of the tapes of Nixon's conversations with his advisers?
John Sirica.
Yes, to whom was he speaking from the White House when he said, "This certainly has to be the most historic phone call ever made"?
Neil Armstrong.
The Apollo 11 astronauts, yes. Who was Nixon's running mate in his unsuccessful presidential campaign of 1960?
John Lodge.
No, Henry Cabot Lodge, who arrived at the White House unannounced on the 21st of December 1970 and offered his services in the fight against illegal drugs.
Elvis Presley.
Yes, in October 1969, the Supreme Court made a unanimous ruling on which issue and demanded immediate action, which Nixon thought was unrealistic but vowed to enforce nonetheless.
Pass.
In 1962, he told the press, "You won't have Nixon to kick around anymore," after being defeated by whom in the race to become the governor of California?
Pat Brown.
Yes. Who was Nixon's first choice to succeed Spiro Agnew as vice president before he was persuaded to nominate Gerald Ford?
John Connolly.
Correct. Nixon and his brothers were raised in which Christian denomination?
Quakers.
Yes. What was the name of the Harvard professor and Democrat who was an advisor in Nixon's first cabinet and helped to design the family assistance plan in '69?
Pass.
In 1977, he was paid $600,000 for an interview with which British television journalist in which he admitted, "I let the American people down and I have to carry that burden with me for the rest of my life"?
David Frost.
Yes. Who was his campaign manager during a successful campaign for election to the Senate in 1950?
Chotiner.
Yes. What name did the press give to the events of the 20th of October 73 when several, I'll finish the question, White House staff either resigned or were dismissed following the decision to remove the Watergate Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox?
Saturday Night Massacre.
Saturday Night Massacre is what it was. And Pat Moynihan was the advisor whom I was looking for, and desegregation of schools was the issue that the Supreme Court ruled on, and Nixon first met his wife when they were auditioning for roles in The Dark Tower. 3 passes, Bernard Critchley, 13 points. So, that's the end of the first round. Very high scores. Let's have a look at them. In 4th place with 13 points, Bernard Critchley. 3rd place with 14 points, Christopher Tunner. 2nd place with 16 points, Ian MacDonald. In the lead with a remarkable 20 points, William Barrett. So, round 2 now, general knowledge. If there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes get taken into account. So it's better to guess than to pass, in theory at any rate. Let's get on with it, and let me ask Bernard Critchley to join us again, if he would, please. Now, I know that your specialist subject was Richard Nixon, but I also know that you collect political autographs, authors of autographs of politicians.
Yeah, that's right.
Why?
Well, it's just something that I was interested in as a child. I was interested in politics, and I used to collect autographs of cricketers and entertainers, but they didn't seem to be quite as interesting as some of the politicians.
Is there a sort of market in
Oh, yeah.
politicians'
Yeah,
autographs?
well, there's becoming a market in autographs in that some people now see them as an alternative investment, like
Really?
stamp collections and things
Good
like
heavens.
that. But unfortunately, political autographs aren't that highly sought.
Have you got Richard Nixon's autograph?
I've got a signed photo of Richard Nixon.
Right. I never thought to. I met him a few times. I never.
Yeah, well, anyway,
I never thought to ask him.
I'll give
you
you my address afterwards. And any of these people that you do come across, then you can pass them down to me.
Right, you have 13 points with your knowledge of Nixon. Let's see what you get with your knowledge of the world at large. General knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. At which test match ground is the pavilion end opposite the nursery end?
Lords.
Correct. With which song did Sandy Shaw win the Eurovision Song Contest in 1967?
Puppet on a string.
Correct. Whose book Sided with Rosie is based on his childhood in a secluded Cotswold Valley?
Laurie Lee.
Yes, after which ancient region of Italy did Josiah Wedgwood name his factory near Newcastle under Lyme in 1769?
Pass.
On television, which string-vested street philosopher from Glasgow, played by Gregor Fisher, was often found at the bar with his mates Jamesy, Dougie and Dodie?
Rab C. Nesbitt.
Yes, what's the capital of the Central American Republic of Costa Rica?
Pass.
Which distant cousin of the Queen took the official photographs at the wedding of the Prince of Wales to Lady Diana Spencer in 1981?
Lord Lichfield.
Yes, Whitesmith, May, Duke and Careless are varieties of which soft fruit?
Plums.
Gooseberry, which word for a non-Christian or heathen is derived from the Latin for rustic or peasant?
Pagan.
Yes, who wrote the novel High Fidelity about an erotic record collector and his failed relationships?
Nick Hornby.
Correct. Which wild upland area reaches its highest point of just over 2,000 feet at High Willhays?
Pass.
What was the surname of Charles Lewis, a New York jeweller, and his son Louis Comfort, whose studio was celebrated for its stained glass?
Pass.
In which country is the Dalada Maligawa, or Temple of the Tooth, that houses the sacred relic said to be a tooth of the Buddha?
Thailand.
Sri Lanka. In the final scene of which 1995 film is Robert De Niro shot dead by Al Pacino near the main landing strip of Los Angeles Airport?
Pass.
Which British painter produced the first of a series of works known as The Screaming Popes in 1949, in which he converted Velázquez's portrait of Innocent X into a picture of terror?
Hockney.
Francis Bacon. What's the common name of ethanoic acid?
Pass.
Which 1973 cult musical was written by Richard O'Brien?
Rocky Horror Show.
Yes. Which controversial former Conservative cabinet minister's parliamentary career ended when he lost his seat as the Ulster Unionist MP for Down South at the 1987 general election?
Enoch Powell.
Correct. How is Aix galericulata, a highly coloured duck originating in Eastern Asia, better known? Quick, time's up.
Peking duck.
No, Mandarin. Close. You had 6 passes altogether. Ethanoic acid is acetic acid. Heat was the film in which Robert De Niro was shot dead by Al Pacino. Tiffany was the surname of Charles Lewis. Dartmoor is that upland area that reaches its highest point just over 2,000 feet. San Jose is the capital of Costa Rica. And Etruria was the region of Italy that Josiah Wedgwood named his factory after. 6 passes. Bernard Critchley, 22 points. And now, Christopher Tunner, please. Now, Dmitry Chomkin. We won't know him necessarily by name, but we certainly know his music.
Yes, he's written a lot of famous scores. His most famous one's probably High Noon,
Right.
Do Not Forsake Me.
And he did win an Oscar?
He won 4 Oscars.
4 Oscars?
Yes, 2 for High Noon, 1 for the score and 1 for the song, Do Not Forsake Me. Then he won 1 for The High and the Mighty 2 years later, and in 1958 he won for The Old Man of the Sea. But he has received over 20 nominations, but he only won 4.
It does sound a bit odd, doesn't it, a Ukrainian writing music for Westerns?
Well, yes, he was once questioned about this. Well, how, you know, you come from Ukraine, how can you write music for the American West? He said, well, a step is a step is a step.
Yes. Quite. I suppose that's true, isn't it? They're the same.
The steppes of Russia, similar to the prairies of America.
Exactly. Well, as you say, we know his music, that's for sure. You have 14 points. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. In 2001, who won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance in Gladiator?
Russell Crowe.
Yes. Hoylake lies at the far northwest of which peninsula? It also has New Brighton at the northeastern end.
The Wirral.
Yes. In the novels by Baroness Orczy, what pseudonym did Sir Percy Blakeney choose for his undercover name when he was rescuing French aristocrats from the guillotine during the Revolution?
Scarlet Pimpernel.
Correct. The heavily armed foot soldiers of which ancient civilization were known as hoplites?
Romans.
Greeks. Who won the Wimbledon women's singles title a record 9 times between 1978 and 1990?
Martina Navratilova.
Correct. Which engineer and canal builder was commissioned in 1759 to build the Bridgewater Canal to take coal from the Duke's mine at Worsley into Manchester?
Pass.
In the television western series, on which ranch was the Virginian the foreman?
Virginian. Can't remember.
Who, with his brother William, founded the Standard Oil Company in Ohio in the 1870s and used his wealth for philanthropy in the 1890s?
Pass.
Which poet laureate wrote the poem In Memoriam on the death of his friend Arthur Henry Hallam?
Pass.
Which major West Indian island, formerly ceded to Britain in 1802, lies just off the coast of Venezuela?
Barbados.
Trinidad. In 1955, 6 different artists took Stranger in Paradise into the UK top 20, but which American singer was the only person to reach #1 with it?
Howard Keel?
Tony Bennett. Which village near Scunthorpe was devastated in June 1974 after a massive explosion at the local Nipro chemical plant?
Farnborough?
Flixborough. Which soft drink is made from extracts of the common wild plants Taraxacum officinale and Arctium minus?
Pass.
What is the literal meaning of the German word Bad, which frequently occurs in the names of European spa towns such as Bad Ems or Bad Tölz?
Bath.
Yes. Which London court that stands on the site of the medieval Newgate prison has the inscription "Defend the children of the poor and punish the wrongdoer" over one of its entrances?
The Old Bailey.
Yes. Julia Ward Howe is best remembered for writing the words of which American anthem?
Home of the Brave.
Battle Hymn of the Republic. You had 5 passes. Dandelion and burdock is Tarrakum and all the rest of it. Tennyson wrote in memoriam. John D. Rockefeller was the man who founded the Standard Oil Company. Shiloh was the name of the ranch in the Virginian. And James Brindley was the engineer and canal builder. 5 passes. Christopher Tunner, 20 points. And Ian MacDonald now, please. And you got interested in the Swan novels because this series of novels had to do with transport. And you've been interested, obviously, because you're a transport manager.
Yeah.
And you're a bit, I gather, fed up with the way we deal with transport.
This is something, thinking it through, this is something that must occur to every person when they get to a certain age. Because when I was little, my parents could get me to sleep by putting me on a tram. Then the trams all went. I think the last tram in Sheffield was about 1962. And now they're all coming back. Sheffield, Manchester, Nottingham, Croydon. Everybody wants trams again. And, of course, they will be necessary when we start using hydrogen as a fuel.
Are we going to start using hydrogen as a fuel?
Long term, it is the only fuel we have.
So how long, then, before we got hydrogen cars?
15, 20 years.
Right. Well, we'll bring you back and check up on you. Right, you have 16 points. The score to beat is 22 at the moment. Let's see if you can do it with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. What Norwegian word is given to a narrow inlet of the sea resulting from the marine inundation of a glaciated valley?
Fjord.
Yes, the name of which 19th century Prime Minister is given to a bag with 2 equal compartments joined by a hinge?
Gladstone.
Yes, prior to the Neville brothers in 1996, which brothers were the last to play together in a full football international for England?
Charlton.
Yes, as whom did Dante Gabriel Rossetti's sister Christina pose in his painting of the Annunciation, Ecce Ancilla Domini?
Pass.
Which type of dark-coloured china tears a name which is the Chinese for black dragon or black snake?
Lapsang Sushi.
No, oolong. Which television series set during the Second World War stars Michael Kitchen as a Hastings detective?
The
Foyle's War. What was the official name of the county of Shropshire from 1974 to 1980?
Salop.
Yes. Which herbicide used by the Americans during the Vietnam War to destroy vegetation is so named because of the colour of the rings painted on its containers?
Agent Orange.
Yes. Which well-known Viennese waltz featured in the films The Age of Innocence, Strictly Ballroom and Titanic?
Blue Danube.
Yes. What's the name of the scientist and atheist who wrote The Blind Watchmaker and more recently The God Delusion?
Richard Adams.
No, Richard Dawkins. Which French queen was the 4th daughter of the Holy Roman Emperor Francis I and his wife Maria Theresa, the Archduchess of Austria?
Marie Antoinette.
Yes. Ling is an alternative name for which plant?
Seaweed.
Heather. Which European country was invaded by the Italians on the 7th of April 1939 and annexed by them shortly afterwards?
Albania.
Yes. Whose only film as a director was the 1961 western One-Eyed Jacks, in which he also starred as a Mexican bandit, Rio? Marlon Brando. Which French engineer and industrialist introduced the mass production of cars to Europe in 1919 when he converted his munitions factory to civilian use?
Renault.
Citroën. Which novel by George Eliot tells the story of a reclusive weaver who adopts a little girl?
Adam Bede.
Silas Marner. Also a vice president of Motown Records who, I'll finish the question, who was the lead singer of the group The Miracles during the 1960s?
Smokey Johnson.
Smokey Robinson, you nearly got it. You had just the one pass. Christina Rossetti posed as the Virgin Mary. Ian MacDonald, 24 points. And finally, William Barrett, please. You must have watched an awful lot of the royal family an awful lot of times.
I've watched it as much as they've watched other programmes like the Antiques Roadshow.
Fascinating comedy series, so different from anything else at the time, because at the time it first came out, I suppose Friends was the big one, wasn't it? And it could hardly have a bigger contrast.
Absolutely. In Friends, Joey will walk into the room, huge applause from the unseen audience. He'll do a wisecrack, Ross will do a wisecrack, then they'll sit down and then someone else will walk in. Royal family, Dave will walk in, say nothing, watch TV, standing up, then walk into the kitchen. Someone will be eating, that'll be it.
So why do we find it so funny?
It's just realistic, I think. A lot of working class people relate to it. Certainly my father was very like Jim in the way he controlled the television and what was watched on which channel, and was always criticising presenters, not yourself, but people like Sue Lawley and Esther Rantzen he didn't like.
Right, you've got 20 points already. 24 is the score to beat. You've 2 minutes to do it in. Here we go. Which detective created by Agatha Christie made her first appearance in Murder at the Vicarage in 1930?
Miss Marple.
Correct. In 1859, which French-born acrobat crossed Niagara Falls on a tightrope, later repeating the feat on stilts?
Blondin.
Yes. What is the sinister common name of Amanita phalloides, the most poisonous of British mushrooms, accounting for 90% of fungus-related fatalities?
Deadly Nightshade.
No, Death's Cap. Which King of England was murdered at Berkeley Castle in Gloucestershire in September 1327?
Henry II.
Edward II. Which controversial 1969 chart-topping single, sung entirely in French, features heavy breathing provided by the English actress Jane Birkin?
Je t'aime.
Yes. What word is used to describe the vast, flat, treeless Arctic regions of North America, Europe and Asia that have permanently frozen subsoil?
Tundra.
Yes. Named after the Scottish plant breeding station where they were developed, Pentland Dell and Pentland Javelin are varieties of which vegetable?
Potato.
Correct. In 1902, who left a large sum in his will to fund scholarships to Oxford University, one of the most famous recipients being Bill Clinton?
Pass.
Which rower won his first Olympic gold medal at Lake Casitas in 1984 and his fifth at Penrith Lakes in 2000?
Steve Redgrave.
Yes. Which word meaning godfather in French is used in English for someone who introduces the acts in variety shows?
Compare.
Yes. Now housed in the Ashmolean Museum, what type of instrument is the Messiah whose authenticity is in doubt but is thought to have been made in Cremona in 1716?
Piano.
Violin. With which Rhodesian Prime Minister did Harold Wilson hold talks in the late 60s about the future of Rhodesia?
Ian Smith.
Yes. Who played the secret agent Harry Tasker in the 94 film True Lies?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes. Which canal connects the west and east coast of Scotland by linking the lochs in the Great Glen?
Pass.
What is the nationality of the 2006 Nobel Prize for Literature winner Orhan Pamuk, whose works include My Name is Red, about miniaturists in the Ottoman Empire?
Turkish.
Yes. Bombus is the scientific name for the large nest-building genus of which insect? Take a guess at it.
Wasp.
Close. Bumblebee. 2 passes. It's the Caledonian Canal that connects the west and east coast, Scotland, and Cecil Rhodes funded those scholarships, of which Clinton was one of the winners. William Barrett, 30 points. So, at the end of the contest, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 20 points, Christopher Tunner. 3rd place with 22 points, Bernard Critchley. 2nd place, 24 points, Ian MacDonald. 1st place with 30 points, William Barrett. Which means, of course, that William Barrett goes through to the semi-final. Congratulations to him. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Anne Robinson's The Grand Inquisitor next on BBC Two, but there's no sympathy for the weakest link. Then chefs from the southwest serve up their starters in a new week of Great British Menu at 2:15.